Hi friends, it's Jessica with Olive Branch 23 Studio, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. I have something really fun to share with you. On Saturday, September 20th, I'll be hosting another DIY workshop at Coffee Cup Overflow in Hamilton, Ohio. For this workshop, we will be making a hand-lettered wood sign, and trust me, you don't need to be a lettering pro to join in. If the idea of writing pretty words makes you nervous, don't worry. I'll walk you through it step by step. And with the tools I provide, it will look like you have Pinterest-worthy handwriting. Now, registration isn't quite live yet. I am working on it and should have it up this weekend. I'll make sure to share it on my Facebook page and by email so you can grab your spot. All right, let's dive into the fun part. You will be creating your sign on an 11 by 14 inch wood canvas, and you will paint your canvas at the workshop with a sponge brush. I have 4 options for the background. There's white, black, dark gray, and chalkboard green. I gave my canvas a rustic look by taking a dry paintbrush, a 1-inch paintbrush, and doing a dry paint technique around the edges and along the inside of my canvas board to give it a rustic look. Once the background is dry and ready, it's time for the template. When you register for this workshop, you'll actually be able to choose your template. And the templates are grouped into categories like fall, Christmas, hymns, Bible verses, and for the home. Each category will have probably 3 to 4 designs to choose from, so you'll have plenty of options to fit your style. I'll be posting photos of each template so you can see exactly what you're choosing. You'll also have to choose your background color during registration, the white, black, dark gray, or chalkboard green. So whatever you choose for your background will determine the color of your paint pen. If you choose a white background, you'll get a black paint pen. A black, dark gray, or chalkboard green background will come with a white paint pen. One last important option during registration is whether or not you would like to frame your canvas. If you want the canvas as is with no wood frame, the cost is $25. If you would like to add a frame, and we'll do that at the very end when you're done with your project, the cost is $35. There will be 3 options for the frame. 2 options are staining options, and 1 is without stain. If you want to paint your frame instead of staining it, you can do that at the workshop. The templates are printed on 8.5 by 11 sheets, so this will give you plenty of space around your design and the edge of the canvas. For this project, I'm choosing not to frame the canvas, but I do want to add some greenery at the top with a bow. With this in mind, I'm going to place my template a little bit towards the bottom to give it some head space. If you would like to add greenery and a bow to your canvas, you are more than welcome to bring those supplies with you. I do have fall flowers that I will bring with me, and you are welcome to use those flowers at no extra cost. But if you are wanting something specific or a specific look, you can go to Hobby Lobby or another craft store to get your florals. As far as ribbon for bows, I will have some with me, but I do suggest that you bring that with you as well, and I can help you make a bow if needed. Now here's how we get your design onto the canvas. Carbon paper. Think old school tracing, but way more fun because it ends with a sign you'll actually want to hang. If your background is dark like this one, you will use white carbon paper. If it's light, you will use black carbon paper. I'll have both available at the workshop, so you're all set. Carbon paper has 2 sides to it, and you want to make sure that you have the waxy side down on the canvas when it's underneath your template so that it grabs as you trace. Now that I have my template in place on the canvas, I'm going to secure the template down using blue tape. Then I'm going to slide the carbon paper underneath the template, again making sure the waxy side of the carbon paper is face down. Okay, just like that. And then we're going to take our carbon paper and we're going to just slide it right underneath the template. You want to make sure that I get that's all underneath. Here I have my camera positioned in the opposite direction so you can actually see what I'm doing here, and I'm doing a close-up. So using a embossing dot tool, I'm going to trace each letter, and I want to make sure that I trace right on the line and not outside the line of each letter. So I have to actually make sure to trace inside the line like you see right here in the video. For letters that loop around and cross over, you want to continue to trace across the letter. You don't have to press down hard with the dot tool. You want to apply firm pressure, and the dot tool is rounded so it easily slides. So you can just slide along the letter as you trace. One important tip is as you are tracing your letters, you want to take a moment and pause and lift up underneath to make sure that the canvas is grabbing the carbon. I am actually speeding up the video as I finish up tracing the letters. You do want to trace your letters from the left to the right. You don't want to just pick and choose, what to work on next. So just think of it just like writing, trace from the left of your template over to the right. All right, once your template is traced onto the canvas, it's time for the fun part, filling in those letters with your paint marker. Your markers will be brand new, so when you first take the cap off and touch the tip, it will be totally dry. Don't panic. That's how it's supposed to be. So to prep your pen, you'll give it a really good shake, maybe about 30 seconds, and you'll hear a little ball inside rattling around. Shake it, and then you could take the lid off and press the tip down a few times until the paint starts to flow. Now here's where we get real up close and personal with the letters. Use the carbon trace as your guide and just carefully stay inside the lines as you go. Don't press too hard. Think of it like letting the paint glide smoothly across the canvas. You're not forcing it, you're just tracing in a new way, filling in those outlines. Just a quick tip for you, if your hand starts feeling a little shaky while you're coloring in, try resting your elbow on the table instead of keeping it off the table. When you have your elbow on the table, it gives you way more control and makes those lines so much steadier. Here's another up close angle where I am using the lines as a guide to fill in the body of the letter. Once I'm done filling in the body of the letters, I'm just going back and straightening out any lines, adding some extra paint where it needs to be added, just doing some final touches. So here it is. This is the sign after I did all of my final touch-ups with my paint pen. I really like how this turned out. It does not take a lot of time when you use a wider paint pen when you are doing your hand lettering, which I didn't have during the live. So I redid it and it looks great. Next, I'm going to use my chalk pencil and I'm going to add dimension to the letters to make them pop. For this demo, I'm pretending the light is coming in from the right side, which means my shadows will fall on the left side of the letter. If you imagine your light source coming from the opposite direction, from the left side, then your shadow will go on the opposite side, on the right side of the letter. The important part is just to stay consistent. So whichever side you choose for your light, that's the side all your shadows will go. So here's how I did it. I take my chalk pencil and I come in along the left edge of the letter and draw a soft line just beside it, leaving a little space so it looks like a true shadow. It doesn't have to be perfect, but those little details make the letters look three-dimensional and polished. When I was done with the lines, I did go back and I just took my eraser and erased anything that I felt like didn't, belong. And I just cleaned up the lines that I created along the letters. And I also filled it in so the shadow hugs the left side of the letter. This is what my sign now looks like with the shadows. I love the way it just makes the word pop on the canvas. And next I'm going to add the greenery and the bow. Catch the part 2 video of this recording to watch the greenery and bow process.